all of these questions that Americans have, Ben Stein, I mean, think about if conservatives just or whatever ran on those ideals.
Well, what about I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't we just ran on the idea of having the Constitution reinstituted and having the First Amendment reinstituted instead of having the First Amendment stricken by the conglomeration of the Biden administration and the internet giants? What if we ran on that? And what if we ran on the Constitution being reinstated in terms of not having these endless attacks on perfectly legal, law-abiding gun owners? How about that for a beginning? How about for a beginning that we're not going to be partnered up with Hamas or any other terrorist groups that pay people to kill Jewish babies? How about those beginnings?
I mean, simple, Ben Boychuk, simple and to the point. Simple things to run on. You keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate it, Ben Boychuk. We know they will.
Right.
But don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah. How about, something approximating the greatness agenda that Trump tried to run on in 2016 and ran successfully on, which was had to do with trade, had to do with immigration, had to do with an America First foreign policy. How about instead of this bullshit infrastructure bill that they're debating now, how about a proper infrastructure bill?
Or how about saying America is a sovereign country?
Right.
We have borders.
Right.
People are not allowed to invade our country.
Right.
We're going to put whatever barriers of structures or human beings are necessary to protect us from invasion. We are not going to be invaded.
Ben, 1 million illegal immigrants.
Right. So how about that as a very key part of the platform? What on earth is the plus? What is the advantage in letting in unlimited amounts of illegal aliens? I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's good for them, but I don't see why it's good for anybody else. It's certainly not good for Black people. It's certainly not good for Asian people. Who's it good for?
Adam, I saw you raising your hand.
I was just going to say, I think the Republican Party should run on ending media censorship, and
we just said that.
I think it should be the primary focus of the campaign. I think that's the biggest threat to American society is the attack on the First Amendment, more so than anything else. And also election integrity. I don't think we should put down the election integrity issue. I think election integrity is at the foremost of if we are actually a democratic republic or not. Do our rules uphold? And I think the recent California mandating mass mail-in ballots is a clear example that the Democrats want to take it into a direction that it has not less integrity, not more integrity.
The commitment of the Democrat Party to the Constitution is extremely minimal.
Yeah.
And by the way, as I came up with Trump's next campaign slogan, Ben Boychuk thought it was good, and it's perfectly said, why own when you could lease? And I think that should be Trump's next campaign slogan, basically saying you could lease me for a few years to get this nation back on track.